Hey, welcome back to a new semester. We're going to get started today on a new unit, and I hope you enjoyed watching the video from the movie. It really is dead on with the four words that we are going to be talking about today, the four pieces of academic vocabulary. But to let you know where we're going is we are working on understanding and controlling oneself, and we're looking specifically at the area of cultivating useful ways of thinking. What are the ways of thinking that are going to propel you into success, not only in your academic achievements through school, but in your personal endeavors, in your family life, and beyond into whatever future education and career goals that you have. This week, we will be taking a look at 7 key elements that are critical to success for students. And the good news is it's not something that you're born with. It is something that can be cultivated, learned, and grown. So let's go ahead and take a jump in. You have a sheet in front of you that's going to be the 4 vocabulary words that we are working on today. I would like you, I've already put in the definition, but I would like you to be keeping track of facts, characteristics, examples. You can draw a picture if you want to. And also, it is important for you to be able to use that word in a sentence. And you may use something from the lecture or come up with something on your own, but that really cements your understanding of what these terms mean. And I hope they are something that you have heard before, but in working with my students in yesterday's class, really they kind of knew what the words meant, but not necessarily. So we're looking at resilience, perseverance, optimistic, being optimistic, or you hear the term optimism, and pessimistic, which is one that we want to try to avoid. So let's go ahead and jump right in. This is a great picture that really to me says resilience. Do you bend or do you break? The keys to success with resilience is you being able to take whatever is thrown at you and to not give up. Sometimes we need someone to push us to that next place, okay? And it helps to have people around us that are going to lift us up and help us to meet our goals. But in the end, if we don't have it within ourselves, we are going to break, okay? It has to start with us. Do you give up or do you keep going? That is, in essence, resilience. I also like to think of it with this picture. It's bouncing back. I got knocked down, but I got to get back up. If you think about it in football, are you going to get tackled and just lay there, or are you going to stand back up and get back in the game? It's a good way to think about it. And I'm sure Mr. Peterson has a million things that he could add to the importance of these topics today. So I'm going to try to talk fast so he can add those pieces in there as well. Our official definition is that capacity to recover quickly from difficulties, to overcome obstacles, or to bounce back from adversity. All right? Those are the key factors and explanations to what resilience is. It is the ability to overcome and to push forward. If you remember Tigger from your childhood in Winnie the Pooh, life is not about how fast you run or how high you climb, but how well you bounce, okay? You can win the race, but if you tear yourself down because you didn't hit whatever goal it was you wanted to hit and just give up, that is not resilience. Resilience is that capacity to want to do better, okay? Something happened, it didn't go right, I'm going to figure out what it is. What could I do better so it doesn't happen again? And I'm going to push forward and move on. I'm going to try again. I'm going to bounce back from whatever happened. Let's see what Rocky has to say about this. Okay. Oh, wrong one. I keep doing that. All right. We got to go back here to the beginning. Nope. Goodness sake. I'm all unorganized today. All right.
You know, living with you, it hasn't been easy. People see me, but they think of you. Now with all this going on, this is going to be worse than ever.
It don't have to be.
No, sure it does.
Why? You got a lot going on, kid.
What, my last name? That's the reason I got a decent job. That's the reason why people deal with me in the first place. Now I start to get a little ahead. I start to get a little something for myself. And this happens. Now I'm asking you as a favor not to go through with this, okay? This is only going to end up bad for you, and it's going to end up bad for me.
You think I'm hurting you?
Yeah, in a way you are.
It's the last thing I ever wanted to do.
I know that's not what you want to do, but that's just the way that it is. Don't you care what people think? Doesn't it bother you that people are making you out to be a joke and that I'm going to be included in that? Do you think that's right? Do you?
You ain't gonna believe this, but you used to fit right here. I'd hold you up and say to your mother, this kid's gonna be the best kid in the world. This kid's gonna be somebody better than anybody ever knew. And you grew up good and wonderful. It was great just watching you every day. It was like a privilege. Then the time come for you to be your own man and take on the world, and you did. But somewhere along the line, you changed. You stopped being you. You let people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good. And when things got hard, you started looking for something to blame, like a big shadow. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you got to be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that. I'm always going to love you no matter what. No matter what happens. You're my son, you're my blood. You're the best thing in my life. But until you start believing in yourself, you ain't gonna have a life. Don't forget to visit your mother.
I can't really say it any better than that. How much can you take and keep moving forward? Even tying into the video that we watched in the beginning, you can have the best teachers, you can have the best parents, you can have the best coaches. But if you do not have the resilience within yourself, the belief in yourself, that will to bounce back and push forward, it isn't going to happen. We have to start from within in order to make the best happen for us. To be the best versions of ourselves, it has to start from within. We have to build a support community around us. We definitely have people in the world that can bring us down. So it is very important who we surround ourselves with. But initially, it has to start with us. All right, let's move on to perseverance, which just marries in very well with resilience, because perseverance is that time where the work comes in. And we saw that in the video as well. Okay, we saw resilience. He was getting tired, he was hurting, and he wanted to stop, and he stopped. And he was just going to take a break, but he didn't have time to take a break. He had to push forward. So he found something. He found something within himself, and he pushed forward. He bounced back. Perseverance is tied in with that. And these posters, I hear Mr. Brewer has a lot of them, have great sayings to build us up and to get us to think. But perseverance is the hard work you do after you get tired of doing the hard work you already did. And we definitely saw that in that video. He wanted to stop. He was hurting. He couldn't do it anymore. And his coach could sit there and yell at him all he wanted and encourage him to do what he needed to do. And he needed that. But it had to come with inside too. On a lighter note, Perseverance is also kind of that survival skill that I have to get to where I'm going. Oh, it's almost like it's not a choice, and I have to kick in and get here. And sometimes that's what you have to tell yourself. I don't have a choice. I have to make it through this. Most of the time, we don't have a choice. Whether it's an illness or whatever, we have to push through to get it done. And that perseverance can be used to achieve great things for you in what you want in life, as well as that ability to survive those things that come towards us that we didn't ask for. Okay? Perseverance is doing something despite delay or difficulty in achieving success and sticking with something even when it's difficult. Like Wile E. Coyote, and this is a video that I'm not going to show because it's silly. It isn't. It's kind of pointless. But Wile E. Coyote was always trying to kill the Roadrunner, if you remember that. And this video in particular had the Energizer Bunny, and it's that Energizer Bunny that just says, keep going. Or you could pull from Dory in whatever movie that was, The Fish. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. Sometimes you have to have that mantra that just keeps you going in the time that you need to make it through something that requires perseverance. And many, many things in our life do. Perseverance, it's when the impossible only means that you haven't found the solution yet. I'm not one that believes that we can go out and do anything in the world. That's not something that I tell my kids. We all have special talents, and some people are meant to do this, and some people are meant to do other things. I am not meant to play video games, and I could work and work and work at it, but you know, it's not something that's really going to do. I have other gifts that I can share with people, but I don't do myself any good by saying something is impossible. Okay, I just haven't found the right way to get there yet. And perseverance is a key there as well. So resilience versus perseverance, okay? There are differences. Perseverance is doing something despite delay or difficulty in achieving success and sticking with it even when it's difficult. I'm not sure if this picture is resilience or perseverance. Those are some things that we'll have in a discussion later on. Looking at resilience again, it's that capacity to recover quickly from difficulties and overcoming obstacles or bouncing back from adversity. So if I think about that, well, this is a bad situation. You're just in a difficult situation here. A dry land, and you're a flower, and it seems impossible. Some resilience is necessary, but perseverance might be the key as well. Let's think about it with this video too, and then I'm going to wrap it up there, okay? And we'll move on to the next piece. Sorry it's such bad visuals, but the cameras were bad back then.
You are good when there's nothing good in me. You are love on display for all to see. You are light when the darkness closes.